Rocks, it's Thursday. It's time to talk some sports with our guy, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning to all the rockers out there. Another big week of NFL football coming up, and I start you this Thursday morning with a Pep quiz. Who has the most touchdown passes in the NFL right now through the first 2 weeks of the season, guys?
I do not know.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Derek Carr.
Ooh, good guess.
He's close, but the correct answer that we are looking for is 44-year-old Tom Brady. He leads the NFL with 9 touchdown passes through the first 2 weeks of the season. And guys, we're going to see Tom Brady in Southern California as the reigning Super Bowl champion Buccaneers are going to take on the Rams. And guys, maybe it's a NFC Championship preview. Like, these are two of the best teams in the league right now.
Could be 40.
I thought I saw this, Pat. Maybe you can confirm it. Is this Tom Brady's first time ever playing in Los Angeles?
You might be right. You might be right.
I think it is, yeah.
That is correct.
His first time ever coming to L.A.
Right.
You know, he's 44 years old. He's coming off a Super Bowl championship. He leads the NFL in touchdown passes as of right now going into this game against the Rams. And I think it was SportsCenter. Somebody had tweeted out a picture, and it had 4 quarterbacks on it. And it said the NFL is going to be in great hands with great young quarterbacks for the next 10 years. And it was Mahomes. It was like Justin Herbert. I think it was Lamar Jackson. And it was Tom Brady. And everyone was like, yeah, he'll probably play another 10 years. That sounds about right.
Of course.
I mean, he looks younger than ever. He looks great. It's just insane how well he's playing.
It is insane. He's like, what's that movie, Benjamin Button, where he goes back in time, he's de-aging. Tom Brady is better and looking more young and all those things as he gets older. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it.
And I mean, we're finding out that he's basically kind of carrying Gronk along too, because Monday Night Football, it came out, Gronk doesn't watch any film. He just goes to Brady and who am I going up against? Okay, cool.
Brady will tell him what to do.
Brady just tells him everything.
You know, last season, I kind of felt like Gronk fell off a little bit. I'm like, man, he's not the same Gronk as he used to be. He used to be so dominant. He's okay, though. I know Brady wants him, whatever. But this year, he looks like the old Gronk. I think he's eating the avocado ice cream and doing all the crazy plant-based things that Tom Brady's doing because, dude, he is dialed in. He looks like the old Gronk. He's unstoppable.
He's actually working out, too, because he got busted last year for sending in fake videos. So I think he was super out of shape for the first half of last year.
I don't even think he got busted. I think he busted himself. It was kind of like typical Gronk. He gets away with something, and then he can't help but giggle about it and point it out afterwards, just like he avoided going to the Detroit Lions.
Oh, that's totally Gronk, man. He's just a big frat boy playing football. He loves that stuff, right? I'm excited about that game. Rams and Buccaneers coming up this Sunday. That's gonna be a fantastic game. If you guys can all check that out. For our other local team in Southern California, the Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs coming off that tough loss to the Baltimore Ravens, losing by 1 in Kansas City. I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, a little bit angry, which is bad news for the Lightning Bolts.
I could see that happening, too.
Division game, though, and the Chargers know that if they could somehow pull this one out, that is really big since both of those teams are sitting at 1-1 right now in that division.
Huge.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can't let the Raiders and the Broncos start building a gap in the AFC West. It sounds crazy, but it's true that, Kansas City and the LA Chargers both 1-1, looking up at Denver and Las Vegas.
And the Raiders got the Dolphins, not as scary of an opponent as the Chargers are facing.
Right, Tua's out, broken ribs.
Yeah, and in Miami was a team that I think some people were pointing to as a team at least going in the right direction. They were a playoff caliber team. They were a team that, they're not a pushover anymore. But with Tua out and they've got off to kind of a slow start this season, there's a real chance the Raiders are going to go 3-0 to start the season. And get ready, the silver and black, man. They're gonna be crawling out of the black hole. They're gonna be in full force because the Raiders are off to a good start. Derek Carr leads the NFL in passing yards. So Tom Brady leads the NFL in passing touchdowns. But in terms of passing yards, Derek Carr leads the league.
Is it the Rosen one that gets? Is it Josh Rosen who's the backup down there?
It's not Mariota anymore, or
No.
in Miami. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, I think
it's the
Rosen's with
Rosen
the
one.
Atlanta Falcons. I don't even know who the backup
good
is
call.
with the Miami Dolphins now. We're gonna find out, I
neither.
guess.
Yeah.
But the Raiders, there's probably a really, really, really good chance they're going to be 3-0 after this weekend, and they'll let you know about it. That's the good part. They'll tell you about it. So
It seems like the biggest thing, especially after last week, if you can get through this early part of the season and stay healthy, there were so many big injuries to quarterbacks last week. I mean, if you can just stay healthy, you're looking good.
Very true.
yeah, can you imagine just 2 weeks in, you lose your starting quarterback? Like, you just go back to square one. You're like, okay, here we go again. And, one of those teams, and maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but the Chicago Bears going with the rookie Justin Fields. Maybe the Bears felt like, man, we can't really make this move right now. We need to stick with Andy Dalton a little bit longer. But now if Andy Dalton's hurt, which he is, it kind of forces your hand. Justin Fields has to go out there, and maybe he'll tear it up, and maybe he'll just be QB1, as they like to call it, and he'll be the starting quarterback for the Bears.
That's how it works all the time.
Miami will be led by Jacoby Brissett.
Oh,
He's not bad. He's not bad, but the
He's
Raiders,
backup.
the Raiders will be 3-0. The Raiders will be 3-0.
Right. Most likely.
Guys, as a 49er fan, I'm looking forward to the San Francisco-Green Bay game. That's also another great game this weekend. As we saw the Packers, bounce back, get a win against the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. But San Francisco's off to a great start, and that's going to be a true test for Aaron Rodgers and the Pack this Sunday night.
it's going to be a good one. I think Aaron Rodgers, they might be on a hot. I think they may have turned it around.
They are. They're looking pretty good. San Francisco is coming off of a win against Philadelphia, who I love, but not the greatest team this year.
Yeah, the Niners, they beat the Lions, and then, no offense, 40, and they beat the Eagles. So the Niners are looking good. So
not the two most impressive wins, but 2-0 is 2-0. You'll take it.
But guys, think about it. If you look at just this weekend, how many great NFC teams we have and the matchups. I mean, we talked about the Rams against the Buccaneers. You got the 49ers against the Packers. If you're trying to look at the big picture on the whole season, maybe these games will tell us a little bit more about how good these teams actually are going forward and who's legit, who's a contender, and who's a pretender. I know it's early, and I'm like the jump to conclusions guy over here, but these are big games early in the season.
One of the other big ones, too, Seattle, Minnesota. That's going to be a big game.
Yeah, because it's at Minnesota.
Yeah, the Vikings are always tough at home, Patrick. I know they've kind of limped out to this start this season, but the Vikings are traditionally tough at home, and I know Seattle wants to kind of get that bad taste out of their mouth, right, and get things going in the right direction. So that is also an interesting game.
I mean, Minnesota 0-2, but just because their kicker shanked one last week.
Yeah, it's how Minnesota.
They could easily be 1-1.
It's like they're cursed.
It is, isn't it? And finally, guys, at least for NFL tonight, the Thursday night game, if you're going to watch it, it's Panthers at the Texans. The Texans surprisingly winning some games early on this season. Everyone thought, they were done. They weren't even going to be a factor this season, but they are, despite losing a lot of their star players, probably pretty much all their star players. And then you got the Panthers with Sam Darnold, the former USC quarterback. He's loving life with Carolina. They're good.
I think in the beginning, everyone kind of underestimated poor Tyrod Taylor. He's been through so much crap, but now he's hurt. So I look for the Panthers to stomp them.
Yeah, Davis Mills is going to be the quarterback for the Texans. I mean, when you see the Panthers playing, it's really Christian McCaffrey is unreal. And then you're seeing now this year how good Teddy Bridgewater is doing in Denver.
Yeah.
If Teddy Bridgewater could have just had Christian McCaffrey all last year, that would have been such a different thing.
He's like the new Marshall Faulk.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. A guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield, of course, run the football. You got to do everything, and that's exactly what Christian McCaffrey does. He's fun to watch. He's one of the guys I'm like, oh, okay, I'll put on the Panthers, even though I don't care about them at all, but I'll put them on because Christian McCaffrey's playing. I want to see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Great fantasy player.
Yeah, right? Yeah, all those fantasy points. And finally, guys, college football, just real quick, a shout out to our Inland Empire quarterbacks because we've got Chance Nolan from Paloma Valley High School in Menifee, starting quarterback for Oregon State. He's going to lead the Beavers into USC this weekend. So we got our guy Chance Nolan, and then we also have our guy Tanner McKee, the pride of Centennial High School, the starting quarterback for the Stanford Cardinal. They will take on number 24 UCLA. So local guys going up against USC and UCLA this weekend in Pac-12 play.
We've already seen Stanford take out one of the LA teams. In fact, pretty much got their coach fired because of how much they put it on him.
Those IE boys, you got to look out for them.
Yeah, we got some great quarterbacks. And we got Jaden Daniels starting quarterback at Arizona State. We got 3 local guys starting quarterbacks in the Pac-12.
It's going to be a great weekend. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, if you love quarterbacks from the IE, check us out. It's Inland Sports. We got Inland Sports Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
Thanks, Pep.